Experiment 10, Series Parallel Combination Circuits. First of all, we need to get these resistors, 2.2K, 4.7K, 5.6K, and 10K, and measure their measured values. Record them in this entry. And after that, we need to build these circuits. We have a power source, connect to some resistors. They connected in parallel, also in series. So for this circuit, R2, R3 are in parallel. And these two resistors together connected in series with R1 and R4. So first we need to build the circuit. I have already built the circuits shown here. We have R1. We need to put this on the breadboard. I have already put the circuits on the breadboard. As you can see, we have this resistor, red 2.2K ohm resistor connected in series with these two resistors that are connected in parallel. This one is the 4.7K ohm resistor. It's the yellow, purple, and the red. This one is a 5.6 kilo ohm resistor. That is green, blue, red. And here we have the R4, 10 kilo ohm resistor, brown, black, orange. And then we go to step 4. As you can see, we need to measure all these items. The items with the entry not in gray. So we need to measure RT, the total resistance of the circuit, with no source connected. And then we need to measure V1, the voltage across resistor R1. V2 and V3, they have the same value since they connected in parallel. And then the voltage V4, and also the total voltage. So let's do it. This is a relatively simple experiment. So first of all, let's go back to the circuit. We need to configure our DC power supply so it provides a 12 volt. So first of all, let's connect our meter to here. Change here to voltage mode. We need to measure the voltage. So red to red and black to black. The knob all the way to the left, and then turn on the DC power supply. Also the multimeter. We change here gradually until it's 12 volts. Perfect. Now our DC power supply supplies a 12 volt. We can disconnect the multimeter from the DC power supply. And then later connect the DC power supply to here. Let's do a quick analysis for our circuit. As you can see, we have resistor R1. This is R1 connected in series with this R2 and then this wire. So here, this line with the 3 wires or 3 things connected together is the junction point. And then this wire connect to R3, here to R3. R3 cross the gap, connect to the other side of the circuit, this wire. And then here is this junction point. It has 1, 2, 3 wires. This is R2, this is R4. The other side of R4 here connects to the negative terminal of the source. So here connect to the positive 12 volts, here connect to ground. Let's connect the power source. we connect the positive 12 volts over here, and then the ground signal there. Great. Next, let's measure the required items. RT. We need to measure RT first. So let's disconnect our circuit. So with no power source connected, let's measure the resistance of the entire circuit. Change here to resistance mode. And then we connect our multimeter to the circuit. Since resistance has no polarity, we can connect the meter either way. That gives us a 14.5 or 46 ohm resistance. How about let's try a different setting. 14.3, 14.2. The other one is more accurate. So I will use 14.5. If you have this kind of saturation, just pick a number in the range. So I will pick 14.50 kilo ohm. So I put 14.50 kilo ohm. Next, we need to measure V1, V2, V3, V4, and also VT, the total voltage, which is the source voltage. Now let's disconnect that. Put the source terminal here and that. Let's measure V1 first. V1 is the voltage across resistor R1 from here towards there. So we take our multimeter, make sure it is in the voltage mode, and measure from the left, the wire closer to the source. And then to the side that's closer to the ground. That gives us a 1.77 volt. So write it down. V1 is 1.77 volt. And this is the voltage across resistor R1. We call it V1. Next, we measure the voltage across resistor R2. This is R2. So we measure from here towards there. And it is 2.08 volts. Next, let's measure resistor R4. R3, this is R2, and R3 should be same. For learning purpose, how about let's just measure and confirm that. So we measure there. This is R3 top leg, and this is R3 lower leg. We get the same voltage, 2.08 volts. Next, we're gonna measure voltage V4. V4, this is resistor R4. So we measure the resistor voltage. Like before, make sure we connect this tight. The red probe connect to the side closer to the passive terminal. And then the black probe connect to the side with closer to the ground. So we get a 8.14 volt. 8.14 volts across resistor R4. So V4 is 8.14 volts. And now we need to measure the total voltage. Where total voltage is the voltage of the entire system, is also the voltage across the source. So we connect that here and then there. This is the total source voltage, 12.01 volt. So as you can see, V total equal to 12.01 volt, pretty close to the number shown here, or voltage divider voltage, the source voltage.